What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for being here again with me today for another reading. I hope everyone's doing fantastic. I hope you're doing well. I hope everyone's been doing well. Before I get into the reading today, I did want to say thank you so much, not just for being so patient with me, but for also being so incredibly sweet. I got so many positive, incredibly kind messages over the past week or so that I've had to take a break since I announced that I was going to need a little bit of a break for medical reasons, and I just couldn't ask for a better collective. I am so fortunate, and I am so incredibly grateful to have all of you. Thank you so much to everyone who sent me any kind of positive energy. I really appreciate it. I'm doing a lot better now. I'm going to be getting back into the swing of things, hopefully, fingers crossed. Um, but we'll see, right? I just wanted to make sure that I just wanted to make sure that I thanked everyone beforehand. I really appreciate all of the positivity from everyone. Um, anyway, getting into the reading, today we are doing a reading for Who Are You Meant to Be? Now, this reading was requested a little while ago, and I put it off for a little bit because I wasn't super sure that it would be framed correctly. So just before I get into the reading, to preface this, I wanted to make sure that I just give the forewarning of I am just some guy on the internet. Please remember that I am just some random guy on the internet. Anything that I say, regardless of if it's phrased in a video called Who Are You Meant to Be, like if it doesn't resonate with you, if it doesn't feel like it fits, then please just leave it. It's not meant for you. There's nothing I or anyone else for that matter could ever say that would diminish your role in society, your role in the world, or change what you are meant to do. Everyone has their own individual paths, you know what I mean? Pick a card readings like this are just so we can bring each other together and we can come together and smile over everything that we have in common, you know what I mean? I just wanted to make sure that that was out of the way before I got into anything. Um, so, without further ado, we are going to be doing 4 piles today. Pile number 1 is going to be the 2 of clubs. Pile number 2 is going to be, okay, the 7 of hearts. Pile number 3 is going to be the 2 of spades. And pile number 4 is going to be the 8 of hearts. Interesting. And for the collective, we've got the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands is indicative, or the Queen of Clubs is indicative of Queen of Wands energy, right? The Queen of Wands is gorgeous. Regardless of how you identify, you are meant to shine in this world, very much so. And I'm getting strong physical connotations here. You're just gorgeous. Like, I've got a gorgeous collective. I'm really lucky. I know this at this point. But you're meant to bring a very strongly alternative flair of beauty into the world around you. Getting strong artistic vibes, very strong alternative vibes, right? This is a very different sense of beauty. You're meant to bring variety to the world around you in a beautiful way. I'm seeing like a bouquet of flowers, like multicolored roses. You're meant to bring color to the world around you, and the people around you definitely notice this, even on your dimmest days, even when you feel like you're really out of sorts, you're really off your game. You bring light into rooms that people really value, frankly, especially people who are having bad days themselves. You bring joy to the air around you, to the atmosphere around you in a wonderful way. All right, well, that's a nice way to start off the reading. Now, again, for the piles, we've got pile number 1 and the 2 of clubs, pile number 2 and the 7 of hearts, pile number 3 and the 2 of spades, and pile number 4 and the 8 of hearts. Interesting pattern today. All right, and getting started with pile number 1 and the 2 of clubs. Now, the Two of Clubs is indicative of Two of Wands energy. I'm getting strong Knight of Pentacles energy as well. You are a very hard worker. Um, and not just a hard worker, the two together give very strong visionary energy. We're getting like Aquarian energy. You're very intelligent, you're very clever, and you're someone who thinks outside of the box. You are meant to bring, this is a very specific flavor of the collective reading that we just got earlier. You're meant to bring variety to the world around you. In the Ace of Wands popping out right there, and this is the paintbrush of creation specifically in this deck, right? You're meant to bring creativity and like vibrancy to the world around you. I'm getting that you're the kind of energy that when you leave, people's worlds kind of go gray. You know what I mean? Like people notice a strong downshift in how much fun they have and how much enjoyment they take in the life, in the world around them in life. Yeah, the Five of Swords, when people lose you, when you walk out of their lives, they very much regret it. There are people in your past right now who are strongly regretting having lost you, who are really looking back on all of the memories that they have with you and really regretting losing all of that. There are people who are really missing you right now and are really mourning the fact that they'll never be able to make new memories with you, actually. In this way, I'm getting that you are meant to be a kind of bit of karma in people's lives. Like when people don't treat the people around them nicely, you likely have a history of being around people who don't treat the people around them kindly. And this can manifest in lots of different ways, whether this is the boss that treats their underlings poorly, this is the teacher that is cruel to their students. This is the parent that is a helicopter and a stifling presence to their child. You know what I mean? Like, there's a sense here that you come into people's lives, you're the friend that's supportive of someone, regardless of the fact that they are not supportive of you. This is likely a situation that will resonate with lots of people, actually. There's this energy here that, like, you come into people's lives and what you give is what you get. You know what I mean? Like when you leave these people's lives, they realize that you take a lot of the joy that you that you brought them with you. Like people underestimate how valuable you are a lot of the time, I'm getting, until they lose you. And then it's a part of their karmic like business to lose you, to recognize the fact that they really screwed up a relationship that could have brought them so much joy, that could have brought them so much light, that could have brought them so much success in a lot of ways. And now they just have to sit back and wonder what if while you succeed and while you thrive. I've said this before. I understand. I totally, yeah, the world card. All of this success, all of this like vibrancy, this love, even as depicted in this particular world card, you know what I mean? There's a sense here that people find their karma a lot of the time in being forced to be on the outside looking in on your success. And I've said this before, I totally understand how that feels like cheap karma. You know what I mean? Like I totally get how sometimes it can feel like that's not, how does it benefit me karmatically that someone's karma is that they get to see me succeed? You know what I mean? Like, I get how that feels kind of like cheap karma sometimes. It's important to remember, though, that, like, if someone is watching you obsessively, it means they've got nothing going on in their life of value at all. That karma manifests in a lot of different ways. And for a lot of people in your past, especially people who did you dirty in your past, that's manifesting for them right now. People are recognizing the fact that things could be a lot easier for them right now if they had your support. You're someone who supports the people around you, and you're someone who has a really big heart, I'm getting. It takes a lot for you to walk out of somebody's life. So if you're willing to cut bridges with someone, if you're willing, yeah, King of Swords, if you're willing to go like beast mode on them, if you're really willing to really put your foot down and sever that connection, it means that they did you really dirty. And you have every right to protect yourself and to protect your peace in that moment. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about who you're meant to be? Yeah, you're meant to change minds. That Aquarian energy coming out again. I feel like I mentioned Aquarian energy earlier in your reading as well. You're meant to change minds. You're a very alternative presence in one way or another. And you're someone who you open people's eyes. You yourself, I'm getting, are very non-judgmental. And when you come into contact with judgmental people, you don't punish them for being that way. Like, if it makes sense, I'm getting that there are a lot of people in your life who they regret how they first met you or how they were when they first met you, because meeting you has changed them. Like, you're one of those people who's willing to take the time and take the extra energy to educate someone rather than just writing them off because they have the wrong opinion or because they have a damaging opinion. And people like you are so incredibly necessary in the world. It is difficult to be that kind of person. It's difficult to be willing to be patient with someone who won't give you the time of day or won't even consider the fact that maybe they're wrong. But there are a lot of people in your life who owe you a lot of gratitude, they feel, because they feel like you opened their eyes to a whole new world in one way or another. And you didn't have to do that. They understand that you didn't have to be patient with them. You didn't have to be kind to them. They're ashamed in some ways of the fact of how they met you, of how they were when they were getting to know you. You know what I mean? Like, there are people in your life. I'm getting that you're a very lovable person. You're just an incredibly lovable person. And that there are a lot of people in your lives who wish that they had shown you that the level of love they have for you now the entire time that they'd known you. You meet people in unorthodox fashions, is what I'm getting. Like, you meet people at really awkward times or in really awkward moments of their lives. And we've got the Four of Swords. And you're a really relaxed person. Like, regardless of the fact, regardless of how a person is when you first meet them, you're a really laid back, understanding person, I'm getting. Like, you're meant to be someone who acts as, like, I'm getting almost like a toll booth operator, but that's not necessarily the energy that I'm trying to get across. Like, you're meant to be someone who acts as an entry point for people. You change people's minds, you open people's eyes, you make people more open-minded in a way that is really impressive, frankly. Like, you change the position, you change the perspective of people who are typically very stubborn and who, honestly, a lot of the times aren't even looking to change their perspective on things. You just so happen to be the kind of person who opens people's eyes to new possibilities. You know what I mean? If you this won't resonate for everyone, but there is an energy here that it will resonate for at least some people. There's this energy here that, like, if you have friends of the same gender identity, or if you have friends of, like, basically you've made people realize that they might have productivities towards people who would otherwise be out of their typical interest. That was the stupidest way to say that. There's the possibility for some of you that you've made people of the same gender identity realize that they have interest in people of that similar gender identity, basically. You know what I mean? Like, you're definitely a very lovable presence, and you make people fall in love with you without even trying, in a way that can open people's eyes to new things about themselves even. You know what I mean? All right. What more can we know, please, about who you're meant to be? Yeah, I'm getting guardian of the paths. You help people make difficult choices in their lives. We've got the Knight of Coins, so the Knight of Pentacles, and I think I mentioned the Knight of Pentacles at the very beginning of your reading as well. The Lovers, and the Nine of Coins. Aw. So the Lover's at the exact center of the three cards that popped out right there, right? This is all about choices. We're literally just talking about this. You come into people's lives at kind of awkward times or awkward moments, but times when they really, you may have noticed that you come into people's lives at times when they need to make important choices, basically. Choices or decisions that will heavily impact their life moving forward, whether they realize it or not. You help open people's minds up, you help open their eyes, and it helps them change directions. It helps them maneuver correctly to go in a different angle than what they were initially going at. There are definitely people who attribute upward ticks in their lives to meeting you. Like people who feel like they were on a downward slope and meeting you kind of like redirected them into a more positive angle. The Knight of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles, because you're a very hard worker, you're very talented, and I'm getting that you're very down to earth and realistic. Like when people are getting a little bit too hot under the collar, haughty, and like their head's getting a little bit big for their shoulders, you know what I mean? You're not afraid to bring people back down to earth. Not being mean, you know what I mean? But like you're not afraid to be honest with people when they're hyping themselves up and setting themselves up for failure, frankly. The same way that like you're not afraid to be honest with people who are getting down on themselves really hard. You're not afraid to like hype someone up who obviously is having trouble hyping themselves up, you know what I mean? You keep people very down to earth. You keep people's feet heavily planted in the ground, and it helps them move forward in a very realistic fashion. Your friends really value your advice. You're definitely someone who like people would want your advice before making really important decisions in their life. People really value what you have to say and your point of view on things. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about who you're meant to be? All right, we've got the King of Wands. Yeah, the King of Wands. Went back and forth between King and Knight there for some reason. There have been two Kings coming out already, and they're both complementary suits at that. That regardless of how you identify, you have a very strong presence. Like people kind of automatically know to respect you on some level when you're holding yourself with confidence. You have a very strong presence and you're a very difficult person to mistake for anyone. You're very unique is what it is. You're a very unique presence. It's very difficult to copy your energy. It's almost impossible, I'm getting, to copy your energy. And it's very difficult to mistake your energy for anyone else. And we've got the Three of Cups. You're a great friend. You're a great friend. And see, the way that they're like conversing over tea there, it's almost like they're swapping stories. Like again, this wraps back around to the fact that like people really value your point of view. They really value the advice that you have to give. Your friends feel very lucky to have someone so intelligent in their corner. Basically, like the people who are closest to you, they feel very fortunate to have someone so intelligent and so clear-sighted backing them up. And we've got the Knight of Swords. Yeah, intelligence. The Knight of Swords is Gemini energy. That's strong intelligence, cleverness. You're very smart and you're very quick on your feet. You're a very quick thinker. There's a lot of air energy. There's been a lot of air energy coming through with this reading so far. Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra energy, right? Very good with words, very quick on your feet, incredibly intelligent. Very, very intelligent. in a way that I'm getting, people can be kind of jealous. It can make people, I'm getting, a little bit jealous with how well you articulate yourself, how intelligent you seem to come off. It comes off very effortless, is what it is. You seem to be someone who is very effortlessly intelligent and very effortlessly words yourself well. And there are definitely people who have been in your life who have been jealous of that fact. The fact that you don't seem to, especially I'm getting during your more formative years, like when you were in school, regardless of whether or not school is something that came easily to you, I'm getting that you had people in your life who may have felt a little bit jealous because intelligence seemed to come easy to you, regardless of how much you study. Like you might have been someone who was really good at test taking, regardless of whether or not you studied, or someone who was a straight A student, regardless of whether or not you had to try very hard. Like, regardless of your situation, there's definitely the sense here that there have been people in your life who are a little bit covetous of your intelligence. And we've got the Fool, and this is more Aquarius energy, so more air energy, and a lot of Aquarius energy specifically. You are someone who's not afraid to start over. You're not afraid to start over. You're not afraid, period, is kind of the energy that's coming through more than anything else. You are not afraid. And this is an energy that is incredibly inspiring to a lot of people around you, I'm getting. Like, whether you realize it or not, there are a lot of people who are heavily inspired by the fact that you just seem to not be afraid. Not afraid to start over, not afraid to speak your mind. You're not afraid to be different. And it's encouraging to especially the younger people around you, I'm getting. If you're someone who finds yourself very often around younger or less mature or less self-assured people, you present yourself as almost like a beacon of hope to these kinds of people. They are perpetually in awe over how self-assured you seem to be, even in moments where you may not be very self-assured. And we've got the Four of Cups. Yeah, nothing bothers you. Nothing seems to shake your confidence, especially when it comes to people who are trying to get under your skin. Like, nothing bothers you. Nothing seems to shake you. The way that the bird is crying out in the window over here, and this person is just focused on what they're doing. Like, you are just completely immovable, is how it seems from the outside looking in, and people really, really admire that about you. We've got the Five of Cups, especially since you likely have been through quite a bit in your life. The Five of Cups, especially this Five of Cups, is about having a rather sordid past, let's say, right? You don't let your past drag you down, and you don't let what's happened to you in the past depict your future for you. There are a lot of people in your life who take so much inspiration off of just that fact. Especially people who are close to you. The closer someone is to you, the more they know about what you've been through in your life, the more impressed they are with the fact that you seem totally untouchable from the outside looking in. All right, well, let's get one more. What more can we know, please, about who you're meant to be? Yeah, you're definitely meant to be a pillar of strength in a lot of people's lives, whether you're actively being that or not. And we've got the Justice card. What you give is what you get, and that's Libra energy, capping off the air energy that we had going on. What you give is what you get, and you give 1,000% of what you give 1,000% of your energy in everything you do, I'm getting. Like, especially if you've been waiting for a return on something that you've been putting a lot of work and effort and energy into, trust that you're going to be seeing that very soon. What you give is what you get, and you've got a lot of things on the back burner coming towards you right now. Very good things, I'm getting. Yeah, we've got the Nine of Cups. I have been manifesting you for so long. The Nine of Cups in reverse here. I have been manifesting you for so long. The Wish Fulfillment card. And in reverse, it just means that it's been taking a long time to manifest for you. You've been manifesting this for a long time, babe. Something is on its way to you. That's a lovely way to cap your cap your reading and to cap the first full reading that I'm doing back. It's really nice. There is something definitely coming to you, a gift from the universe on its way to you that you are definitely going to love and that you definitely deserve. All right, love, that is what I've got for you. Thank you so much for being here again with me today for another reading. I really appreciate it. I hope it was fun. I hope it was enlightening. I will see you next time. Bye. All right, and we're in pile number 2 with the 7 of Hearts. Now, the 7 of Hearts is indicative of 7 of Cups energy. We are looking at the card of choices, right? So 2 things coming through already. 1, you are meant to be someone who is a jack of all trades, I'm getting. And this is not to say master of none by any means. This is more to say that you're meant to be someone who's very multi-talented and multi-skilled. You are likely someone who has found a lot of natural talent in many different aspects of your life. And over your life, you will likely make use of all of those skills that you've learned as you go. Like, this is the energy of someone who's a natural learner and who picks things up very, very quickly. Lots of Jupiterian energy coming through here. You might be someone who people kind of identify as being lucky, whether you identify that way about yourself or not. There's definitely nothing coming through that says that you're not a hard worker. Like, there's definitely the energy here that, like, you put in the energy to get the result, but you might find that you have a little bit of an easier time on the pickup than most other people. Secondly, however, there's also this energy here that you're meant to be someone who helps people recognize that they can make their own choices in life. There's a little bit of a rebellious energy coming from your pile here, not gonna lie. It's a really great energy, though. Like, it's a really great kind of, like, fresh energy, very youthful. You make people realize that it's never too late to change up their direction. It's never too late. Things are never so down bad that they can't be resurrected in one form or another if someone is willing to put in the effort. You know what I mean? Yeah, the 4 of Coins, the card of the stable home. Like, you are someone who, when push comes to shove, when worse comes to worse, you still have faith that there's a core of stability in your life. And I'm getting that you've been rewarded for that faith before. Like, what comes off as luck to other people around you is really, it manifests from a deep, unshakable belief in both yourself and in what you believe in. You know what I mean? All right. Let's see. What more can I know, please? What more can we know about who you're meant to be? Yeah, you're definitely meant to open people's eyes to the possibilities in life. Getting strong, opening your eyes to the possibilities energy. You're very smart and you're very innovative is what I'm getting. Strong innovation energy. You're not someone who can be backed into a corner. The 4 of Coins popping out again there. Like, you have too much faith in yourself. You have too much self respect, even, is what's coming through. Like, you're not someone who can be bullied. You're not someone who can be pushed into a corner. You have a lot of internal strength. Lots of strength of character, lots of spine, lots of strength of soul coming through here. You're a very strong person, and definitely the kind of natural leader that people just kind of have a very easy time looking up to, I'm getting. Like, you may have found throughout your life that it's really easy for especially younger people or people who are less secure in themselves. They might kind of gravitate towards you. Like, you may have found that you might be a little bit of a lightning rod for people who are less confident in themselves to kind of copy you and like bite off what you do. This is the kind of energy that can very easily get incredibly annoying, regardless of the fact that it stems from a place of absolute admiration. Like, people who admire you so much and want to be like you so much that they start emulating the things that you do. You know what I mean? Like, it stems from a place of true, genuine admiration. The sincerest form of flattery is imitation, right? Like, that kind of energy. But naturally, this is something that can get very frustrating very quickly. I can definitely see how it can maybe get annoying being the person who everyone's trying to copy on the block. You know what I mean? Yeah, the Eight of Coins, the way that she's crying while she does her work there, like she's just trying to do her thing and it hurts. There are tears streaming down her face anyway. Like, there's definitely the sense here that, like, even in moments where you're just trying to work on yourself, you may have been confronted with people who try to commodify you or idealize you or copy you in very vulnerable moments. The Ten of Swords popping out right there, right? Like, you come off as a very bright, easily lovable person. It's not surprising that there are a lot of people who want to be more like you. And we've got, yeah, Temperance and the Ace of Coins popping out right then. You seem to have everything figured out from the outside looking in. And, like, I get how that's not ever true. No one has everything figured out, right? But especially from the outside looking in, there are definitely people who feel like you seem to just have things figured out for yourself. Even as you go into life and things, and you start new things, you start new ventures, you know what I mean? The Ace of Coins popping out right here. Like, you seem to be someone who, when you put your mind to something, things just kind of seem to spring forward. Do you know what I mean? You make things look easy, is what it is. You definitely make your ventures look very easy. I think I've already mentioned this with this pile, but, like, with that Seven of Cups energy for your pile card, you make a large variety of things look easy in a way that can almost make it seem like you've got some kind of cheat code going on in life, regardless of the fact that you put in as much effort as you possibly need to get to be as good as you are. You know what I mean? It's really interesting energy. You're likely someone who deals with envy quite a bit. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about who you're meant to be? Ironically enough, in having people follow you and try to find themselves through you, part of who you're meant to be is someone who helps people find themselves. Like, you help people open up, you help people feel more comfortable in being themselves. It starts by emulating someone who they want to be more like you. And it leads into them really finding themselves as they go. You know what I mean? That's the kind of energy that comes through here. You're definitely meant to be someone who helps people find their way, helps them find their path in life. Some of you might be counselors or therapists. You might work in the medical field, whether that's mental health or physical health. You know what I mean? Very strong healing energy here, though. It's not surprising that people who need that kind of healing light gravitate towards you. We've got the Page of Cups with that healing light around him. You know what I mean? You just seem so happy-go-lucky, and it does kind of feel, especially to people who feel down on their luck, like the universe is kind of on your side. The way that the red string of fate goes around his ankle there. And that is not to say by any means that you guys have not been through quite a bit in your life. In fact, I'm getting that you likely have been through quite a bit in your life. People just can't see that from the outside looking in. You know what I mean? And especially someone who seems happy, someone who seems joyful, someone who seems like they are not constantly being dragged down by the life that they're living. It can be really easy for people to assume that that person doesn't have their own things going on in the background. You wear your pain very well. You wear your stress very well. People just can't tell from the outside looking in. We've got the Nine of Coins. Yeah, from the outside looking in, you seem to be having a wonderful, good old time living your life. The Nine of Coins is the card of the independent woman and is typically depicted with a woman who is standing in a garden by herself with her pet bird. You know what I mean? From the outside looking in, you seem to have so much going on for you. There's definitely envy that follows you around. I am getting a little bit of a sense of misunderstanding here, though. Like, there's this sense that things might get a little bit lonely sometimes, having people just kind of assume things about you from the outside looking in, if that's a problem that you have. That can be a little bit of the issue that shows up with the Nine of Pentacles. That's definitely presenting itself right here. And we've got the Knight of Wands. You're very attractive. Um, between the Nine of Coins and the Knight of Wands energy, you're a very attractive person. Um, I'm getting that it's really easy for people to get nervous around you. Especially people who are just getting to know you and people who feel like you are wildly out of their league. And there are more people who feel like you're out of their league than you give yourself credit for. There are definitely more people who feel like you are out of their league than you give yourself credit for. Um, but especially those kinds of people, like, it's really easy for people to get lost in their thoughts around you. It's incredibly easy for people to get, like, tongue-tied around you. You're just a really, really attractive person. And I'm getting that the level of like nurturing and supportive that you present on top of being so attractive, it can be kind of disarming for people. Like people can get really attached to you very quickly, is what I'm getting. Like, you give off very nurturing vibes, and it can be really easy for people to get very, very attached to you without much provocation. We've got the Sun card. You're warm. You're just warm. You give off such a warm, loving energy, and you're fun. The Sun card, more than just being a card of joy, is also a very fun, loving card. You know what I mean? It's the card of like the young-hearted Leo. You may have been accused of being a natural flirt at one point or another in your life. But at the end of the day, you're just a very fun person. You're meant to be someone who reminds people that life can still be fun. Especially people who have been going through it, especially people who need a reminder that just because life has been difficult up until this point doesn't mean that it can't get better, and doesn't mean that you're not allowed to take a moment to smell the roses. You know what I mean? Like, you are someone who reminds people that just because they've been hurt in this life doesn't mean that they necessarily have to stay hurt. And I say that in the gentlest way. You know what I mean? Like, there's no deciding when you get better from something that's hurt you. But you're someone who helps people let go of their hurt in a way that's very healthy and in a way that's very healing. I'm getting you're a very healing energy to be around. You may be the friend that people have found that they've just started crying around you. Like, that might be something that's happened to you before, where people have just started like crying around you and they don't really have necessarily an explanation for it. It's just people feel very you make people feel relief in a way that can be so profound, I'm getting, that it can almost move them to tears. Like, you bring a lot of relief to people, a lot of healing energy to the rooms that you enter. We've got the Judgment card. Now, the Judgment card and the Sun card, especially in this deck, there's a glow about them. You know what I mean? Again, it's reminiscent of this healing glow that I was just talking about. You are meant to be someone who heals the people who you come into contact with in this lifetime. You are a natural healer. I think I already mentioned that you might be someone who works with physical or mental health in some way, or someone who is very often around physical and mental health discussions. You know what I mean? You're meant to be a healer in this lifetime, and you are definitely just your energy is very healing in and of itself. You're definitely the kind of person, I'm getting, who, like, people know they can call you to cry on your shoulder, and you without reservation will give them that kind of comfort. And we've got the World card. Oh, and that's 3 major arcana to cap off the original 5-card line deck, right? Or the 5-card spread with, right? You are a very powerful presence, and you just get more powerful as people get to know you. Like, you might be someone who, when people first get to know you, they find you to be kind of unassuming, just this happy-go-lucky, very chill, very joyful presence. And as people get to know you, they get more and more and more attached to you, and more admiring of you. You know what I mean? Like, your presence grows larger in people's lives by the day, basically. It's very interesting. You're also definitely a very easy person to get attached to. I think I've already mentioned that a couple times. Like, there are a lot of people in your life, a lot more people in your life than you know, who absolutely adore you and would do anything to get closer to you. If you have a romantic partner, if you're in a romantic relationship at all, know that your romantic partner absolutely adores you. And if you have had past romantic relationships, know that your past romantic partners really regret losing you. Regardless of how it happened, regardless of what the circumstances around their losing you was like, know that they heavily regret losing you and they really wish that they could go back and change things between the two of you, even if just to keep you in their lives as friends. This is the kind of energy that, like, people miss you so much once you're gone from their life. They would do a lot. They compromise a lot just to be able to get your energy back in their life in some regard, because having some of you is better than having none of you. This is definitely the energy, though, that, like, I think it's easy for people to convince themselves that they'd be capable of having a friendship with you, when in actuality that wouldn't really necessarily be the case. Like, people are just too enamored to you. The Four of Wands, I want to build a home with you. Like, people are too enamored to you. I'm getting, it's too difficult a lot of the times for people who are romantically interested in you in some way to just be friends with you. You know what I mean? All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about who you're meant to be? Who are you meant to be? All right, and we've got the Knight of Swords. Always look out for number one. You want to make a deal. Now, ironically enough, with the always look out for number one there, I'm getting that you are the quintessential ride or die. Like, and this is the second night to come out too. Like, I'm getting that you are a heavily, heavily supportive person, and that you support the people in your life to always look out for themselves. Like, when you care about someone, you care about them more than you care about anything else. You're the kind of person who, when someone's boyfriend or girlfriend or partner does them wrong, you are the last person that they want to see. You will call them out on it. You will say something about it. You will defend your friends. You know what I mean? Like, you are the quintessential ride or die. People absolutely know that you got their back no matter what. If you say that you've got their back, you will be there for them. Definitely the kind of person who people call when they need support. And we've got the Ten of Swords, finally blessed darkness. You make bad situations feel good. Like, and feel good feels like the weird way to phrase that, but like, you make people feel better. Like, people know that they can call you when they need comfort, and you'll give them comfort that's not shallow and it's not hollow, and they'll leave your house, they'll leave your company, your acquaintance, they'll leave the phone call that they're on with you. Regardless of how they're contacting you, they will leave knowing or feeling better than they were feeling when they showed up, and feeling better in a real way, not just in a cheap way, not just in a superficial way. You make people feel genuinely to their core a lot better about bad situations that are going on. You make them feel like the sun really will rise another day and there will be another chance to move on. And again, I'm getting that you yourself have been through quite a bit in your lifetime. So, like, this comes from, like, a personal knowledge. Like, it's not just you talking just to talk, and people, especially people who are close to you, they know that. They know that you're speaking from experience. When you say that the sun will rise again, you're not just saying that to say that. You're saying that because the sun rose again for you when you needed it to. And we've got the Three of Pentacles. Everything you touch turns to gold. Now, two different things. One, again, you're very talented. This wraps back around to the exact beginning of the reading. You're very talented in a multitude of different ways. But two, everything you touch turns to gold. You turn people into, like, you help people turn into better versions of themselves. Basically, you heal people. You've got the Midas touch as far as touching people's hearts and giving them hearts of gold goes. Like, you help heal people both internally and externally in a very beautiful way. I'm getting, you're going to leave a very bright mark on this world. And we've got the Magician. The world is yours for the taking. You are going to leave an incredible mark on the world behind you. You are already in the process of leaving an incredible mark on the world around you. All right, loves, that is what I've got for you today. Thank you so much for being here again with me today. I hope it was fun. I hope it was enlightening. I will see you next time. Bye. All right, and we're on pile number 3 with the 2 of Spades. Now, the 2 of Spades is indicative of 2 of Swords energy. So already I'm getting strong intuitive energy. You're definitely very intuitively gifted. And for the vast majority of you, I'm getting you're going through a very strong, like, intuitive awakening right now. Likely not the first one that you've had in your lifetime. There's, like, I'm feeling almost jittery, completely out of nowhere. Definitely a sense here that you are very intuitively gifted, and that gift will just continue to expand as you move forward in life and as it becomes more relevant in the life that you live. The intuitive gifts that you were given because they're meant to be a part of how you impact this world. And you will leave a very big impact on this world. I'm getting that has definitely been the thorough line in all of the readings so far. I'm so incredibly proud of all of you, and so incredibly proud of the fact that I have such a cool collective. But you're going to leave a big impact on the world around you. Yeah, we've got the Ace of Cups popping out already. Now, the Ace of Cups, 2 things here. 1, the Ace of Cups is indicative of new love. There's a lot of love that comes from you. You're meant to bring a lot of love to the people around you. And 2, this Ace of Cups specifically, it depicts the invention of sake. Actually, the story of the creation of sake, which is Japanese rice wine. You are a very creative person, and your creativity is going to leave long standing marks on the world around you in a very positive way. You're also a very fun person. People know that they can come to you to have a good time, and that you'll actually take care of them you're not the kind of person who's going to take someone to a dangerous place and then just, like, abandon them there while you have your own good time. You know what I mean? Like, people can trust that if they go out with you, if they decide that they're going to party with you, if they decide they're going to, like, cut loose a little bit with you, you know what I mean? They'll be safe. You'll keep an eye out on them. You're not going to let anything bad, negative, or creepy happen to anyone. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about who you're meant to be? You're a very good friend. Yeah, you're definitely a very good friend. You're really loyal is what it is. The people who love you, the people who are closest to you in your most inner circle, they are they feel so lucky to have you. Like, aw, the Lover's card. Yeah, the people who are closest to you, especially your romantic partner, if you have a romantic partner, they feel so happy and lucky to have you in their lives. You are such a wonderful, loving impact. I think I've already said this, but there's a lot of love that comes with your energy. You are a very loving person, and you exude love in a way that makes people around you feel it. No one questions whether or not you care about them, because you show it to them, and they can feel it in how you treat them. Oh, you're such a positive, this is such a positive energy. You brighten rooms when you walk into them. People really love having you around. Even on your worst days, I'm getting, you're the kind of person who would never take anything that happened to you out on anyone around you. And if you were to accidentally do something like that, you don't have a hard time apologizing to them for it either. Yeah, and we've got the Knight of Cups energy, Pisces energy. You've got a very big heart, very overflowingly big heart, and you're not afraid to show it, and you're not afraid to you're not afraid to be in touch with your emotions. You know what I mean? You're very emotionally in tune. You're a very emotionally sound person. There are definitely people in your life who have a little bit of envy over the fact that you have such good control over yourself. Let's say you come off as someone very mature, very, very well grown, very, very worldly, regardless of how old you are. You come off as someone extremely mature, and there are people in your life who are envious of the fact that you hold yourself so well. Oof, especially I'm getting if you like people who feel like they should be more mature than you. You're the kind of person who like you come off as very, very mature, and there are definitely people in your life who feel like they should be more mature than you, and they're just not. Like there's just no comparison. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about who you're meant to be? All right, we've got the Ace of Cups and the Hierophant. Now, I'm getting that you, regardless of how sweet you are, regardless of how much love you have to give, I'm getting that you can definitely be someone who can be very good at giving tough love. Like when you let loose on someone, when you're disappointed in someone, when you have something to tell someone and you don't hold back, it can be very cutting. And people remember that too. Like you are so kind and so loving and so soft 99.9% of the time that the 0.1% of the time that you really come all out and you're like, no, this is the line, people remember that for sure. um Very, very scary energy almost I'm getting. Like it can catch people off guard and like almost scare them with how intense you can be in the moment. It definitely helps. It discourages people from ever getting on your bad side, though, I'm getting. Mama bear energy. Strong mama bear energy. You don't want to see them when they get angry. And we've got the King of Cups. Yeah, the King of Cups coming out after the Knight of Cups, right? You are very emotionally sound. You are a very strongly self-controlled person, I'm getting. Definitely a natural leader. People really value your opinion on things, and they value the advice that you have to give them. All right. Very regal energy here. You come off as someone very regal. You hold yourself with a lot of grace is what I'm getting. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know? Oh, and we've got the Empress. Yeah, Mother Teresa literally in this depiction here. Or I think the mother of Guadalupe. Either way, we've got a saint, a literal saint coming out. Like the way that you hold yourself is very regal. People have a lot of respect for you, especially from the outside looking in. And the closer that people get to you, the more they feel the closer people get to you, I'm getting the more impressed they are that you are such a loving person. Definitely getting, and this is also a consistent with the readings, which is another thing to be so proud of the collective for. You guys have been through a lot. You guys have just been through a lot, and despite the fact that you've been through a lot, you're still a loving, compassionate person coming out on the other side of things. And the closer someone gets to you, the more they realize that and the more awestruck they are over the fact that, again, you are, despite everything that you've gone through in your life, such a loving, compassionate human being. And you manage to continue to spread that love and that compassion regardless of how people respond to you and in response to it. You know what I mean? Even when people aren't the kindest to you, you do your best and strive your best to be kind to everyone around you. And people are very touched by that fact. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about who you're meant to be. Who are you meant to be? We've got the Page of Wands. I'm getting a strong, like, other energy here, a strong outcast energy here. You're meant to give people a home when they feel like they don't have one. You're meant to give people a place to belong when there's nowhere for them to feel like they fit in. You know what I mean? It's such loving, adventurous energy. Like, you make people feel like they belong regardless of how different they are. You make people feel like they have a place to call home regardless of how different they've always been. There's a strong found family vibes. You make people feel like they have a place to belong. And it's lovely. It really is just such a lovely energy. Yeah, and we've got the Queen of Coins. Again, with that strong mama bear energy, regardless of how you identify, you're definitely a nurturer by nature, and it comes off that way. Like, you don't let people pick on the people who you care about, and you don't let people take advantage of the people who you care about either. You're definitely a protector by nature, and the people who you love really appreciate that about you. Like, you would never hang someone out to dry. You would never sell someone you care about out. And it's very rare to find that level of loyalty nowadays, especially without asking for anything in return. You know what I mean? Like, all it takes for someone to get this type of loyalty from you is that you care about them. It's enough. It's enough if you care about them for you to be on their side 1000% of the way. You know what I mean? And we've got the Ace of Swords. You are very intelligent, and more than very intelligent, I'm getting that you're really good at reading people. Like, you're definitely the kind of person who people can't pull one over on you, people can't get one by you. Like, you're very smart, and through everything that you've been through in your lifetime up until this point, you're very good at reading people and reading their intentions, especially towards you and towards the people that you care about. And I'm getting that for the most part, you're a very lenient person. Like, you I'm I'm getting that you would only read someone to filth if they gave you a reason to. Let's just put it that way, right? Like, you are very kind, you're very understanding, and you don't call someone out on their shit unless they give you a reason to call them out. And we've got the King of Coins. Now, the King of Coins and the Queen of Coins here, two separate things, right? One, you have very good balance. There's very good balance between your masculine and feminine, yin and yang sides, right? Internally and externally, you're a very well balanced person. Aside from that, though, you are the ideal mate. There are a lot of people who see you as the ideal lover, and a lover is the word that comes out here. Um, skewing towards a more adult theme for a very brief moment, there are a lot of people who assume that you're very good in bed. I'm getting strong sentiments of very good with your hands, specifically. Um, very physical. Let's just say that. There are definitely people who would love to get more physical with you and love to see how you are when you're getting a little bit more physical with somebody else. I'm getting that you have very nice skin. If not clear skin, then very soft, touchable skin, though for most of you, it's probably both, a combination of both. Um, you look very well taken care of. You are someone who comes off as someone who takes care of themselves and takes care of the people around them as well. And we've got the Ace of Coins, which is our second ace. You are not afraid to start new things. You're adventurous between the two aces and the Page of Wands. You're an adventurous person, and you're not afraid to take risks. You're meant to shake the world up, is what it is, with the ideas that you have, with the intuitive pushes that you're given. And with the eye for reading people that you were given, you were meant to shake the world up. You are meant to change things as you go. Definitely strong Aquarian vibes here. Lots of outside of the box thinking. That's another thing that's been very common through all of the readings so far. You all are very outside of the box thinkers. It's lovely energy. I absolutely adore that. And we've got the Two of Coins. Now, the Ace of Coins to the Two of Coins, you are you're currently in a point of upgrading. Again, this wraps back around to what I said at the very beginning of your reading, with the fact that most of you are currently going through an intuitive upgrade right now. You are in the middle of a leveling up process. And I'm getting that that may have been very tricky lately. If you've been feeling tired, if you've been feeling extra restless even, don't be afraid to give yourself more space. Don't be afraid to give yourself a little bit more time to sleep, a little bit more time to rest your body, rest your eyes, rest your mind. You know what I mean? Balance may have been a little bit tricky recently, but it will be coming back soon. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know? What more can we know, please, about who you're meant to be? Who are you meant to be? We've got the King of Swords. Sight set on the heavens, feet ground in the earth. I will tear the heavens down to build ours here on earth. You are meant to make moves. You're meant to leave a mark in this world. King energy. That's the second king to come out, in fact, for your reading. King energy. You're meant to leave a mark on the world around you in a very big, profound way, I'm getting. Again, you're meant to take the intuitive pushes that you're given. You're meant to take the ideas, especially the creative ideas that you're given, and transform them into real, tangible things. The manifestation energy. You're definitely a natural manifester. You're someone that has a lot of manifestation talent. You're meant to do a lot of manifesting in this lifetime around. And we've got the Sun. My gifts are the heart and mind of a child. Yeah, the heart and mind of a child. What comes to mind most there is imagination, intuition, intelligence. I was thinking of another I word, imagination. Like, you have a very strong, very big imagination, and that imagination is meant to cause a lot of waves in the world around you. It's meant to make a lot of differences and changes in the world around you. Between the Sun card and the Page of Wands card, there's also an energy here that you're meant to change the point of view of younger people. There are a lot of younger people, a lot of less mature people, a lot of less secure in themselves people who look up to you, I'm getting. And you're meant to help change their point of view. You're meant to help give them a broader scope of point of view, I'm getting to. You help open up people's minds, and you talk in a way that, like, both closed-minded people and literal children can understand you. You know what I mean? You're very approachable, you're very understandable, and even though you're very intelligent, you're not someone who tries to lord that intelligence over other people in a way that makes it impossible for them to relate to you. The Ace of Swords is the card of answers. It's the card of intelligence, it's the card of cleverness, and here it features the Sword of Gideon, and the not the Sword of Gideon, the knot of Gordian. Haha, the Gordian knot. There we go. It features a knot that was supposed to be unraveled, and King Alexander cut it in half, and that unraveled it. It was an outside of the box thought. It was a thought that was very quick to, it was a thought that seemed like it should have been wrong, and it was a thought that was right and that was easy to understand why it was right in the first place. You're very good at getting your point across, and you're very good at educating other people in a way that makes your education and your knowledge accessible. And you're meant to give people that access. You're meant to give people that push in the right intelligent direction. You know what I mean? And we've got the Nine of Cups. I have been manifesting you for so long. Manifesting, again, you're meant to use your power of manifestation in this lifetime to do vast amounts of good for the world around you and for the people in your life. You are a very talented manifester, I'm getting, and it's going to do you a lot of good in this lifetime. And we've got the King of Wands, a third king. I was born for the spotlight. I'll share it only with you. Lots of king energy. You're meant to make big moves in this world. You're going to make big moves in this world, and it's going to put you in a spotlight. And I'm getting that very soon you'll be seeing a spotlight. Whether it's a big one or a small one, soon you're going to be getting validation in something that you've done and recognition for something that you've done. All right, loves, that is what I've got for you. Thank you so much for being here again with me today for another reading. I really appreciate it. I hope it was fun. I hope it was enlightening. I will see you next time. Bye. All right, and last but certainly not least, we're on pile number 4 and the 8 of Hearts. Now, the 8 of Hearts is indicative of 8 of Cups energy, and I'm also getting strong Queen of Cups energy. So already, we're getting that you are very emotionally intelligent, very emotionally stable, with a lot of very good self-control. You may have heard throughout your life that you're an old soul, or that you're someone who had to grow up very quickly, or that you're very mature for your age. Definitely a sense here that you have been emotionally intelligent, vast beyond your years for a very long time, regardless of how old you are. All right. What more can we know, please? There are people who wish that you'd be less private. That came out strongly for some reason right there. There are definitely people in your life right now who wish that you'd be less private. Yeah, we've got the Empress and the Nine of Swords. Now, two things. One, the Empress is indicative of more of that Queen of Cups nurturing energy. I think I mentioned the Queen of Cups. I was definitely getting Queen of Cups vibes for your pile. It's indicative of that nurturing Queen of Cups energy. The Nine of Swords, however, is the card of anxieties. There are people who really wish that they could care for you the way that they feel you care for them. There are people in your life who feel like they aren't giving you enough in exchange for all that you give them. You are a very loving person, and I'm also getting likely someone who values your independence quite a bit. Even if that's not the case, you come off as someone very independent, and the people around you don't know. They don't know if they're giving you, yeah, the eight of coins here, with her literally crying over her work. Like, the people around you want to give you more help. They want to give you more assistance and support in the way that you give them that assistance and support, but they're not quite sure how to. Oh, yeah. The Three of Cups, the card of friendship. Like, regardless of what kinds of relationships these are, the people around you, they really wish that they could love you and make you feel as supported and cared for as you make them feel. Even if that's not really the case and they do make you feel supported and cared for, and you don't feel like you have to be independent 100% of the time, you just come off as a very independent person. Like, you come off as someone who has everything that you could possibly need within your own control. And someone very, again, emotionally intelligent, someone with a lot of emotional control and bandwidth. So people who are often crying on your shoulder and people who are often relying on you emotionally, they can feel like they're taking advantage of you or not giving you as much support because you literally just don't need as much support as they do. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about who you're meant to be? You're definitely meant to show people their inner strength, though. I'm getting strong strength card vibes. You're meant to show people that they're strong and that they can manage regardless of what's going on around them. Because you yourself are always strong regardless of what's going on around you. Like, you might be the kind of person who needs to be reminded that it's okay to rely on the people around you, and it's okay to take breaks and be vulnerable. And we've got the Death card. Yeah, you're likely someone who goes through transformations quite a bit, is what it is. You're used to things being kind of topsy-turvy. You may have, for the vast majority of your life, been used to a roller coaster ride of a lifetime. You know what I mean? And so you might need the reminder that it's okay to rely on other people and you don't always have to do everything on your own. And if that's the case, then this is your reminder that it is okay to rely on other people and you do not have to do everything on your own. And we've got the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, the wheel is turning. The wheel is definitely turning for you. Between the Death card and the Wheel of Fortune, you're going through a massive overhaul right now. I'm getting strong, strong transformative energies. If you need to take the extra rest, if you need to kind of give yourself the space to really relax and recuperate, don't be afraid to do that. You're going through a lot right now internally. Even if it feels like things have been stagnant in your life otherwise, you're definitely going through a strong transformative period right now. Don't undercut that. And don't be so hard on yourself. It's okay to need some time to recover. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about who you're meant to be? Who are you meant to be? You're very graceful. Some of you are very good dancers. If that's the case, there are a lot of people who wish that you would dance more. There are people who miss your dancing. Yeah, and we've got the Death card coming out right on top again. You are definitely going through a deep transformation right now, very deep transformation right now. Be gentle with yourself. This is your reminder that it's okay to get the extra rest. It's okay to let yourself be lazy for a couple days, even if that's the word that you have to use for it. You know what I mean? Like, let yourself recover, let yourself recuperate. You're going through a big transformation period right now. You're going through a very big shift in your intuitive guides right now. I'm getting, just be gentle with yourself. Though I am getting again that you are the kind of person who likely has gone through many transformations in your life up until this point, so it's not like this is anything new for you. And we've got the Hierophant, and that's a 4 to a 5, and they're both major arcana, right? And it's a 4 transforming into a 5 literally in the Death card. You are going through big, big transformations right now. Big things are on the horizon for you. You're going to be looking at some big changes coming towards you, and they're all very good. They're all very blessed. They're on their way to you in deserving fashion because you've done all of the work to deserve all of the changes that are coming towards you. The Hierophant is a card of structured religion in a lot of ways. You come off as someone, I'm getting, very, very intelligent religiously, especially if you're someone who's openly religious. Like, if you're someone who's openly religious, openly spiritual, openly mystical in any sense of that, in any capacity, there are a lot of people who admire the work that you do and look up to the work that you do. There are people who see you as a sort of mentor or religious guru in that regard, because people really respect what you have to say. People really respect what you have to say, and they really respect the experiences that you've gone through that have led you to this point in your life. You know what I mean? Again, you've likely been through quite a bit. And especially if you're open about the fact that you've been through quite a bit or you've been going through quite a bit, there are a lot of people who take a lot of strength in the fact that you still manage to be such a strong, capable person despite the fact that you face down so many troublesome things on the regular. Oh, and we've got the Lovers card, and this is a 6. That's a 4 to a 5 to a 6. Huge, and they're all major arcana cards. The Hierophant to the Lovers is literally actually how the cards progress as well. That's the 5 to the 6. Like, you are going through a huge transformative period right now. Please be gentle with yourself, and please, please allow yourself the time that you need to recover when you need it. The Lover's card at the exact center of your 5-card spread. You are so well loved. The people around you love you so much. Like, people value you so much more than you could ever realize, I'm getting. Especially if you're someone who you don't reach out to people quite as much, as has been the theme for this reading, like if you find that you're not someone who reaches out to people quite as much, there are people in your life who really wish that you would reach out to them more and really wish that you would open up to them more. No one's trying to push you, no one's trying to make you feel uncomfortable in that regard, you know what I mean? But there are definitely people in your life who wish that you would open up a little bit more, and maybe it would make you feel a little bit better and a little bit less burdened all by yourself, because you really don't have to go through life on your own. There are so many people who really wish that they could be there to hold your hand and help you the way that you hold everyone's hand and help them through their problems too. You're also very clever. The Lovers card is Gemini energy, and the Gemini energy came out real strong right there. You're very clever. You're likely the kind of person who will laugh even when you're crying, who will actively try to look for the silver lining in things when bad things happen. You know what I mean? Like, you're a very naturally, even if it doesn't come naturally, you appear to be a very naturally positive person, very optimistic. It makes people want good things for you. Like, it makes people want good things to happen for you because you just come off as the kind of person who believes that good things are coming for you. You know what I mean? People are rooting for you. There are definitely people out in the stands who are rooting for you, who really want to see you succeed. Oh, and we've got the Wheel of Fortune. And the fourth major arcana card. You have such strong energy. When you walk into a room, people notice you. That is for damn sure. You have very strong energy. When you come around, people cannot help but notice you, cannot help but pick up on you. This is something that I'm getting you may have faced envy or even like a little bit of just straight up jealousy for in your lifetime. Like, you are a completely unmissable person, and you're also a very physically attractive person. With all of this major arcana signage, and with the Scorpio energy, the Taurus energy, the Gemini energy, even the Capricorn energy, you are you're a very attractive person, both inside and outside. And the wheel is turning in your favor, and soon you will start getting validation in just how attractive you are and just how much people want your time and want your energy and really want to get to know you. Oh, and we've got the Page of Coins. And after all of that strong major arcana energy, we end on a page energy. You are so humble. You're such a humble person. Like, despite the fact that you have all of this going for you, despite the fact that you are the kind of energy that people cannot miss when you walk into a room, you're very, very humble at the end of the day. And that humility is going to get you so far. Like, you're just going to power through so many barriers and so many glass ceilings because you're so humble that you'll keep working. Like, you'll keep aiming higher and higher and higher, and you'll keep succeeding and surpassing your goals as you go, because you're humble enough to realize that there's still more that you can do. So you're just still gonna do more. You know what I mean? And we've got the Five of Cups. Yeah, wrapping back around to the fact that, again, you've been through quite a bit. You managed to be such a loving, caring, empathetic person despite the fact that you've been through so much in your lifetime. People want to protect you. This is definitely the energy of, like, there are people in your life who want to protect you. There are people in your life who, when bad things happen to you, they get furious about it. You may have found that you're the kind of person that people get kind of possessive over, even like outside of romantic relationships. We're talking like friendships, even maybe like partnerships as far as like business partners go, coworkers, family members even. Like, you may have found that you're the kind of person who people get really jealous over your other relationships and really possessive over you just in general. You have the kind of energy that people want to covet. The kind of energy that people want to keep all to themselves. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about who you're meant to be? And we've got the King of Cups. Rivers run deeper than the eye can see. A kingdom is nothing without a queen. People see you as the ideal lover. With the Lovers card at the exact center of your spread, and the King of Cups card coming out right there from that specific deck. In fact, like, people see you as the ultimate lover. There are definitely people who are curious about what kind of lover you are, if you get my drift. But yeah, especially in romantic relationships, you may have found that people get a little bit possessive, we'll say, of your energy and of your time and space. It's likely that you will have to find someone very, very emotionally and like very secure in themselves and in their relationships to have a happy partnership with, because you're always going to attract people. Like, you're just a very attractive person inside and out. You're always going to have people vibing with you. You know what I mean? It's going to take someone very secure in themselves to be able to see that and not flip out. And we've got let your worries burn off in the sunshine, the sun. You're so much fun too. You're so much fun. Like, you're so much fun. And at the end of the day, you're also really loyal. Like, it might be something that's really frustrating for you to have to deal with people who act like you'll just abandon them when the next shiny thing comes across and glints your eye. You know what I mean? Because you come off as a very loyal person at the end of the day. Like, you don't want people to have you, especially don't want like your lovers or like your friends, family, the people who you care about, to have to worry about something as trivial and ridiculous as them being replaced in your life because you meet somebody else. You know what I mean? And we've got the King of Wands. I was born for the spotlight. I'll share it only with you. Yeah, when you walk into a room, all eyes are on you. People notice you. Like, there's no denying that. When you walk into a room, people notice you. And the Page of Wands. Adventures everywhere. Just stick your thumb out and go. The Page of Wands. A little bit of a sidebar for adult theme right here. But the Page of Wands coming out definitely. There are people who have certain fantasies about you. Certain fantasies that they pleasure themselves to, we'll say. There are definitely people who feel very romantically and physically attracted to you in your life. It can't be helped. You're a very, very physically attractive person. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about who you're meant to be? Yeah, you're on the come up. You are finding your life purpose right now. Whoever you're meant to be, wherever you're meant to go, you are currently finding it. It's really encouraging energy. And we've got the Magician. The world is yours for the taking. Like, you're currently who you're meant to be. You are currently in the process of figuring it out and finding it out. And I hope that this process is absolutely lovely. I hope it brings you nothing but joy. It's meant to be a good thing. You know what I mean? And we've got the Seven of Wands. Prove you want it. Even when things feel difficult. I feel so old saying this, but this feels like the message that at least one person needs to hear. You'll look back on these days and smile. These days will be a lot of fun to look back on. And that won't be the case for all of you, but I do feel like there's someone who maybe needs to hear that right now, that like you might be going through it, but eventually you're going to look back on this and all the work that you put in and you're going to smile. It'll all have been worth it. And we've got the Star, and that's a 7 to an 8. Now, your cards in the original 5-card spread went 4 to 5 to 6. And now we're going 7 to 8 in the next card spread. You are on the come up. You are going places. You're doing amazing things. And the Star, may all your dreams come true. You are going places, especially if you have been trying to find footing online or out in your community as like a content creator or an activist leader or anything like that. You're going to start finding traction very soon, is what I'm getting. And we've got the 5 of Swords in reverse. Look at what you made me do. The Five of Swords in reverse to match the Five of Cups. There are people who really, really regret the fact that they are no longer in your life anymore. And I'm getting this is the kind of messaging that's like almost a warning. For some of you, there are people who are planning on coming back to your life because they miss you and because they really regret the fact that you're no longer around to give them the support that they really need. You know what I mean? Like, people who genuinely thought that you would never leave them, people who thought that they could do whatever they wanted for as long as they wanted, and you would always put up with them and you would always give them a free pass. You know what I mean? Like, for some of you, just be wary. This is a little bit of a warning that there's a sense that there are people who really miss you and are planning on coming back, and ultimately it will be up to you to decide whether or not they have changed for the better in a way that's worth letting back into your life. A little bit of a sober message to leave things on, but remember, past everything, you are an incredible person. That's why they want back in your life. All right, loves, that is what I've got for you. Thank you so much again for being here with me. I really, really appreciate it. I hope it was fun. I hope it was enlightening. I will see you next time. Bye.